Prince NGM, 720, 2025, 9:14 a.m. The story begins inside a high-tech, futuristic prison where a deadly reality show called Mafia is underway. As the broadcast kicks off, the game master steps in to explain the rules to both the participants and the audience. There are 11 contestants, 9 ordinary people, and 2 undercover Mafia members, but no one knows who's who. The goal for the civilians is to identify and eliminate the Mafia. Meanwhile, the Mafia must blend in and survive until the very end. Each day, the contestants cast votes to decide who gets eliminated. And here's the twist. The eliminated player dies in the most terrifying way imaginable. At night, the Game Master's drones come for the selected person and lead them to their death. The last person alive wins a whopping $1 billion. But if it comes down to a Mafia and a civilian in the final round, the Mafia automatically wins. We're taken to a sleek, futuristic lounge where all the contestants are gathered. Soon, drones arrive and mark each person with a tattoo on their wrist, secretly revealing if they're civilian or Mafia. The Game Master begins the introductions. First, there's Luca, an 85-year-old billionaire who looks decades younger thanks to experimental medicine and drugs. He's a die-hard gambler who's risking his life for the ultimate bet. His grandkids are waiting for him to die, but they don't know that his will says they get nothing if he dies during the game. Next is Eli, a 38-year-old engineer battling terminal cancer. With only 3 months to live, he joined the game to leave a fortune behind for his family. His wife begged him to spend his last days with them, but he refused. Then we meet 2 convicts, Butcher and Evan. The game has a deal with the government. Any inmate can participate. If they win, they get freedom instead of money, and the state keeps the cash. With introductions over, the Game Master tells everyone to reveal their roles, but of course, everyone claims to be civilian. The group is given 10 minutes to vote on who should be the first to go, and their loved ones outside watch anxiously on live TV. In this round, Constantine doesn't vote, but Mary nominates Killian, and Peter supports her. Butcher suddenly recognizes Mary and Peter from television. Turns out Mary is a 24-year-old famous ballerina, and Peter is her biggest admirer. After a tragic accident during a storm, her legs were damaged beyond repair. Since then, storms have terrified her. But with a costly surgery, she could dance again, which is why she's joined the game. Peter, deeply in love, has been selling everything he owns for years just to support her dream. But Mary is heartbroken because Peter has actually been stalking her, and she doesn't feel the same way. The group sees Peter's devotion and assumes Mary can manipulate the votes, so they decide to eliminate her first. Peter panics and suddenly claims to be Mafia, but it's too late. Mary is voted out. When she's taken away, it's revealed she had a civilian tattoo. As her chair rises toward a dark sphere on the ceiling, Peter struggles against his restraints. Inside the sphere, Mary is trapped in a nightmare, a stormy forest. Thunder crashes and lightning chases her until she's driven to jump off a cliff. Mid-air, lightning strikes her and her body disintegrates into ash. The Game Master announces that the first night has ended, and the drones prepare to pick the next target. This time, the group votes for Butcher. He curses them all as his chair is pulled into the black sphere. Inside, we see Butcher's psychological evaluation. He claimed to fear nothing, but admitted he didn't want to die foolishly among fools. In his nightmare, he finds himself in a death pit. 2 giant wrestlers appear, cheered on by a wild crowd. They beat him savagely, tossing him around like a doll. But Butcher fights back, blinding them with dirt and attacking with a bottle. He eventually defeats them, but one keeps resurrecting until Butcher finally finishes him off for good. Prince NGM, 720, 2025, 9:14 a.m. Back in prison, his fellow inmates cheer, but just when he thinks he's earned his freedom, he slips and iron rods pierce his skull, killing him instantly. Meanwhile, Peter, still fuming over Mary's death, says Butcher got what he deserved. Soon, the Game Master announces the next voting round, with only 8 minutes this time. Constantine declares he knows who the Mafia is. He claims to have had visions since childhood, predicting everything from failed tests to betrayals. Nicknamed the Black Messenger, he even advised the government during wartime. His greatest fear? Growing old. He accuses Peter of being Mafia. Peter fires back, questioning why Constantine let Mary die if he truly knew everything. Constantine admits he wants the entire prize and doesn't plan to share it with civilians. The others debate, but the votes go against Peter. It's revealed Peter was also a civilian. During his psych test, he said his only fear was losing Mary. But under pressure, he remembered being terrified of water as a kid. Inside the sphere, Peter finds himself in a boat in the middle of the ocean. It springs a leak, and as he tries to fix it, he cuts himself. Sharks arrive, drawn by the blood. He manages to kill one and tries to escape, but the island he was aiming for disappears. The sharks devour him. As he dies, he imagines Mary's spirit and smiles. Another vote comes, this time with just 6 minutes. We meet Walter, a 45-year-old war veteran haunted by past trauma. He's here to let fate decide his destiny. He once made a fatal battlefield mistake that cost many soldiers their lives. He accuses Evan of being a child killer. Evan's backstory reveals he was a student involved in a car crash after a night of drinking. 2 friends died, and though he wasn't the driver, he was blamed and imprisoned. Evan insists he was framed. Then he claims he recognizes Laura, but she denies knowing him. Laura accuses Walter of being mafia, and he retaliates. As the argument escalates, the votes fall against Walter. It's revealed he was a civilian too. Inside the sphere, he relives the battlefield failure, trying to warn his men before they're ambushed. His soldiers die one by one until Walter is overwhelmed and shot dead. Another night passes. The next victim is Laura. Her backstory is tragic. Once she had a good life, but addiction ruined everything. Her son died, her husband left, and she's been alone for years. Her greatest fear, heights. She recalls seeing a gruesome crash one night, the same accident that Evan was in. Laura had rescued him, but was later forced to lie in court. Evan forgives her. She was also a civilian. In her nightmare, Laura is on a plane that's being torn apart mid-air. As the aircraft disintegrates, she falls to her death. Now time shortens again, only 4 minutes to vote. Konstantin targets Evan, sparking chaos. Eli suspects that Kirill and Kate know each other. Kirill says Konstantin is mafia. Evan blames Eli. The group's votes are split, triggering a revote. This time, Luca switches his vote to Konstantin, and shockingly, Konstantin votes for himself. For the first time ever, a player chooses their own death. Konstantin is revealed to be mafia. In the sphere, he finds himself aging rapidly, coughing and surrounded by mirrors. He laughs, saying he tricked everyone. He's not afraid of growing old. He actually thinks it's a beautiful way to die. Another night falls. Evan is chosen next. Though sad, he's content his name was finally cleared. Before dying, he tells his mother he loves her and apologizes. In his final vision, he imagines execution in prison, then envisions himself on a beach with his mom before being gunned down. Only 4 contestants remain. One of them is mafia. The last vote has just 2 minutes. Eli accuses Kirill and Kate of being a couple. We get Kirill's story. He joined the game on a dare and met Kate just a day before. She confided in him, revealing her fears, heights, deserts, and abandonment. She was raised in an orphanage. Though they didn't expect to reunite, they did inside the game.